Hey, what's going on, you guys? Nick here, and in this video, I want to talk to you guys about AI and automation and workflows and all this new jargon that's come out in the last couple of years that I think is pretty important that we understand as IT professionals. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this. Let me minimize my screen here, my little camera screen. So let's start off with automation. Okay, what the heck is automation? Automation has gained in and risen in popularity within the past like 2 to 3 years now. Okay, now it's been around for quite a while. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Zapier, but Zapier was the OG when it came to automation. Okay, I remember using Zapier like, I don't know, 2015, 2016 or something like that. I don't know. I was using it for quite a while. Really using it heavily when I was running my online business because I wanted to automate some of the redundant tasks that I didn't need to always be doing. And that's where Zapier really came into play because it allows you to connect all these different things together and kind of like a downward hierarchical flow, right? Where you're basically connecting different applications. In this example, we see they have, oh, let's actually pull up something else. Let's explore a workflow. That's probably a better idea. All right, that's a very complex workflow. I picked the wrong one. Open in Canvas. Okay, here we go. All right, can we zoom in? So here's part of it. All right, this is very, very big, but we have a Zap. You know, it says use AI to respond to new messages. So this is a Slack message. That's what triggers it. This says here, new post in the help desk channel with the request for the IT team. So it's filtering. It says in the channel inside of Slack for the help desk, so it's an IT channel, somebody puts in a request asking for the IT team. Okay. And then the next thing it says use AI to respond to the new message in the help desk channel. Right. So here we've got the flow. We've got the flow of the first automation. New message posted to channel, filter looking only for the IT members, then let the asker know you're working on it, so quickly respond to the ticket, and then ask chatbot the question, can help desk chatbot find, and so it kind of like filters down and does this whole thing, right? Not going to go into too much detail on all this because we'll make some more videos on this kind of stuff down the road. But the idea here is that it's automating a process that typically a human would be doing, right? Back when I was at the help desk, we didn't have stuff like this. Message came in, you got notified, and you had to respond to it. And there was an SLA, so there was a service level agreement, which basically just means that you're going to respond to someone within a certain amount of time. And you just did it manually. Somebody got paid to sit in a chair and do that very thing and process tickets. And to this day, honestly, a lot of companies still function that way. These things are not fully automated. This is kind of a newer idea, newer methodology. And a lot of companies haven't adopted to it. And Zapier was one of the first to market when it came to this idea of automation, right? Then came Make.com. Okay, I think it's called Integromat. I think that was the old name before it became Make.com. And they took a similar approach, but they plugged it into a ton of different applications that are out there, a lot of like thousands of applications, and made it really easy for you to connect things. So where Zapier falls short, Make actually takes over. Zapier is limited on the types of applications that you can connect it to, and it tends, the zaps or the workflows is what they call it, zaps, they can break over time, so you have to do some fixing and stuff like that. And Make brought a lot of that stuff in-house. This is what Make looks like on the inside, and I want to show you some of the templates they have here. These are available, free to use templates that you can, just take and do whatever you want. But like, here's an Instagram one, okay? This is a Instagram. What's this say here? Instagram for business, Facebook login, Instagram for business, Facebook login. Let's pick a different one. Let's see if there's something that's a little bit more complex. Maybe we can filter by Instagram. All right, here we go. Auto reply to new comments in Instagram. That's pretty cool, right? So you log in. somebody comments on one of your posts and you have it automated, right? Now, one thing that's pretty cool is you can actually embed ChatGPT into this so that when somebody leaves a comment on your Instagram post, ChatGPT is reading it and then formulating a response and then posting it in response to that person's comment, which is pretty neat, right? So it really takes the heavy lifting off of you. You don't have to do this as much because now you have this tool that can do this for you, right? And that's one of the examples. Let's look at a few more. Let's scroll down here. We've got automate responses to business emails with ChatGPT and Google Sheets. Okay. Let's just take a moment and appreciate how colorful this whole thing is. I mean, coming from Zapier, which looks like this thing looks like a dream. It's really cool. So here you have this workflow which is saying watch for emails. Let's see what the time is on this. If it lets me click it. I don't think it will because I have to import it. But you would set up a schedule trigger, watching for new emails coming into your inbox. Let's say it's every 5 minutes or every 24 hours or whatever it is you want it to be. Then you have that email get fed into ChatGPT. Then it reads it and maybe it fills it into a database like Google Sheets or Airtable, and then use ChatGPT again to formulate a response and then draft up a response to that email, right? So that's kind of what the idea is with this one. And they have all different types. I mean, they have thousands, what was it, like a couple thousand different templates or something like that. You have a ton of different options that you can use. Let's look at the connections. Oh, these are my connections. Let's look at, where are they? Let's go to create a new scenario. We'll build from scratch. All right, so here you've got all these different apps. You got Appify, you can create a data store, Gemini, Pinterest, WordPress, like the list goes on and on and on. And what's cool is that you're connecting directly to that application. You're not trying to build some webhook and none of that. Like this is actually authenticating directly to many of these applications, which will help with preventing these things from breaking. Something that Zapier failed on for many years, okay? So that's kind of what that looks like. Now comes N8N. N8N, not to say that it's better, I think that it's more advanced. It allows this a lot of the same capabilities as Make as far as directly authenticating into applications and plugging things in together. But I think it can go a lot further just because of how it's structured. So this is the N8N website. I want to take you over to the templates that they have here. They have a ton of different types of templates. We've got creating a personal assistant, right? So we can open this up. And so we have, listening for incoming events with Telegram. And then you can send a message to Telegram using your voice or a text message. And then it's going to grab the audio file if it's a voice message, send that to ChatGPT for transcription, then send that through the AI agents to basically have the data processed and do things like check your email, check your calendar, maybe create an event, create a new task, look for contacts that you're looking to contact, and then it will communicate back to you with Telegram. So what is this doing right here? This is essentially creating a custom personal assistant, your own Jarvis, so to speak, using the Telegram application, right? And what's cool is that there's all different types of workflows. So you got that one, you've got generate new AI viral videos using Veo 3 and Nano Banana, right? You've got chat with a database using AI, all these different options, right? And what's even cooler is that you can actually filter these out by categories. So like, let's say we wanted to look at IT ops. So automations that are specific to an IT company, right? Back up all N8N workflows to Google Drive every 4 hours. Report N8N workflow errors to Telegram. All these different things. SecOps, comprehensive SSL certificate monitoring and Discord alerts with Notion and Notion integration. Let's pick on this one for a second. We all know that SSL is important for website security. But what's cool with this is Maybe you don't use Discord. I don't really use Discord. I like Slack. So I could swap out this node for Slack instead and make this custom to my organization or custom to an organization that I am helping out. I'm selling this to, right? And you can do a lot more with this. If we talk about, sales, let's look at the sales workflows. Create a Salesforce account based on Google Sheet data, right? So something really simple. If you have like a new organization that's just moving into Salesforce because they just acquired, the licenses, you can create a spreadsheet of all the different users and use this workflow to automate the process of creating all the Salesforce user accounts and have them go ahead and get started from there, right? So just so many different things that you can do. Now, I'm going to show you a basic workflow that I kind of created here. And what we can do actually is we could just delete this and start over. So let's go ahead and set up a trigger manually, which means that I'm going to click this button to activate the trigger. And then I want to check my Gmail. Maybe I want to get a message, so I want to be able to see the message. Notice here that it's automatically authenticating to my email account because I connected it before I started this video. And so it's connected to the OAuth API so that I can read my inbox. And then I want to have it connect with an AI agent, right? And then I want to select the chat model and move my head over here. And in here, we've got Anthropic, we've got Azure, we've got AWS Bedrock, we've got OpenAI, Grok, like all these different options. Let's say I want to use OpenAI. And then I've got all these different models within OpenAI that I can choose from too. So very, very comprehensive, a lot of different options for you to pick. Let's say I want to stick with the 4.1 mini. I can add memory tools, which I won't get into all that. We can just go on and on for this. We can connect different tools to this, but maybe I just want to have AI read my emails, and then I want to have it send me a Slack message letting me know that I got an email. So then I could say, send a message. And then it gives me the options to go ahead and create select where I want that message to go to, and then draft up a response and send it over to me. Now, I'm not going to make videos talking about how to use these different things just yet. That's not, at least in this video. We're going to make some of those later down the road. But I do want to show you just kind of how simplistic this is to get up and running. And what's really cool is that, let's say I wanted to use like one of these different templates. Like let's say I wanted to create AI viral videos with Nano Banana. Okay, all I have to do is copy this workflow, and I can literally paste it in here. So let's deactivate, and all right. Let's zoom out for the purposes of this whole thing. Zoom out. So I literally deleted the other one that I just had, the one I just kind of made right in front of you, and I just pasted it right in here, right? What's going on is everything is operating under JSON, right? And so when we take a template, like what we did here, this one, we can literally just copy it, and it's copying the JSON code, and when we Command V or when we paste it into this area, it's pasting the entire code, and then what we see here is the non-code side of it. Okay, so back a couple of years ago, developers actually took hours and days to actually write out the code. Now you could just copy and paste these modules, and it does it so much faster. Now you can see like it's collecting ideas and images and is using Telegram. It's going to feed that through Nano Banana, which is the AI, and is going to go ahead and start creating the creatives. Then it's going to send it through the video ad script so that it can start generating the video, and then it's going to go ahead and cross-post to all the platforms. Pretty awesome, right? It automates the entire thing, and it's using elements of AI, different AI tools, and other tools that you and I would have to use on a day-to-day basis to make this whole thing operate, okay? Really cool stuff. Now, let me go ahead and blow my stuff up here for a sec. So, what we just looked over was AI automation, what it is at a very high level. It's pretty interesting because it allows you to actually run through all the different tool sets that you would use in your day-to-day life on the computer and automate certain processes and tasks. So if you have any type of task that you seem to be doing on a recurring basis, it's pretty redundant. Like maybe you check your email every morning, but you're wasting 45 minutes to an hour doing it. You don't have to do that. You can automate a workflow that literally organizes through all the emails. It will sort through and tell you which ones are important for you to look at, and then send you a summary inside of Slack or Microsoft Teams or Telegram or whatever, and tell you, hey, these are the emails you need to pay attention to. You need to respond to this person. You need to pay this bill. Somebody paid you this invoice. You need to issue the receipt. Whatever. You can automate the entire workflow and just pay attention to the things that matter. That is AI automation, right? Or automation in general. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here. How is that different? We all have seen ChatGPT by now. I'm sure many of you have seen by doing this, by using the tool, or by watching some videos of somebody else doing it, right? Very, very simple. You just have a little prompt here or a little message box where you can say, hey, tell me the weather for today. And it can start to fulfill some of those responses. I don't know if it's going to be able to detect the weather based on my location. Actually, it did. Look at that. But you ask it something or you tell it to do something and it fulfills the request. That's it, right? You can have conversations with it. You can have it search Wikipedias. You can have it do research for you, and it will fulfill those requests. That is AI, right? And you have different types of AI models. You have Claude, which is the alternative is one of the alternatives to ChatGPT, right? You've got Perplexity, right? Very similar in regards to how we kind of use AI. It looks very, very similar. They all kind of have this chat prompt thing where you have to insert a prompt and then you get a response. And they have their strengths and weaknesses on what they can do. But these are not automated themselves. Now, when you inject to the power of this, Perplexity, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, whatever it is, and you plug that into something like N8N or Make or Zapier, it allows you to do so much more. It allows you to automate tasks and really fulfill the things that you're trying to do. So I wanted to make that video because I'm actually starting a whole new series on AI and automation and really want to bring you guys up to speed, partly because there's really so much that you can do with this, both from a career stance and from a business stance as well. You know, I know with a lot of things going on, people are like, yeah, I just want to make some side money. How do I make some side money? Well, guys, I've been really diving into this for the past couple of months, and I've actually been able to acquire a couple of contracts just making these types of workflows for people, for organizations, right? And so when you understand these concepts, you can actually sell solutions and make money, right? So it's definitely worth taking the time to go through this because once you understand it, there's not really a whole lot else you have to do. It's pretty simple and straightforward. You just start finding out what organizations are trying to automate, what they want to fix, and then you offer to build it for them. And that's that, right? So you kind of become like an application developer, all with running no-code automation apps like this. So anyways, hope that was helpful. I'll stop rambling. I'll see you guys in the next video.